Bruno wasn't just a dog. He was a routine, a heartbeat, a part of the rhythm that held one family together. Adopted from a city shelter when he was 2. Bruno had scars from a life no one talked about. He flinched at loud sounds. He didn't. Like raised hands. But from the moment the retired school teacher, a man in his early 60s, looked into Bruno's amber eyes, something clicked. He didn't see a breed, saw a soul trying to heal. And so Bruno came home. The house was small. Modest's wife ran a local book club. Their grown children visited on weekends. Life was slow, quiet, full of shared coffee, Sunday crossword puzzles, and neighborhood walks. Every morning. At exactly 6:30, the man and Bruno would set off, leash in hand, coffee in a travel mug, and the sunrise chasing their shadows. The neighbors came to know the sight well, a graying man in a windbreaker, the powerful but gentle Pitbull at his side, tail swinging like a metronome. But that one morning was different. They were halfway through their usual loop when it happened. Bruno was sniffing a fire hydrant when he heard a thud. Turned back. His anchor was on the ground at first. Bruno just stared, confused. Then panic set in. He rushed over, nudged the man's face, whimpered, barked once, twice. Nothing. The man was breathing. Barely. His hand twitched once, then fell still. Bruno licked his cheek, pawed his chest. Nothing. The leash lay loose on the sidewalk. There was no one around, so Bruno made a decision. He ran. He sprinted toward the corner bakery, the one where they always waved. The smell of bread and sugar filled the air, and Bruno barked like his world was on fire. At first, they shooed him away. Go on, boy. But he wouldn't leave. He barked, growled, ran to the door, then sprinted back to the sidewalk. Back and forth, until a teenager working inside said, "Wait, something's wrong." They followed him. 2 staff members ran after the pit bull, turning the corner. That's when they saw the man, collapsed and unmoving. One called 911, the other knelt beside him, checking his pulse. Bruno never left his side. When the ambulance came, Bruno growled at first. He didn't know what the sirens meant. He just knew they were touching his person. But when the medics lifted the stretcher, Bruno's growls turned to whimpers. He tried to jump in. No dogs. They said, "He can't ride with us." The doors closed. Bruno stared at the back of the ambulance, then ran. People saw him flying through intersections, dodging bikes and morning joggers, chasing the siren sound like it was pulling his heart. Through the city, a delivery driver pulled over, stunned. He's following the ambulance. The ambulance reached the emergency entrance. Staff poured out behind them, limping from exhaustion, soaked in sweat and road dust. Was Bruno. He tried to go inside. Security stopped him. He sat and didn't move. Not for 20 minutes. Not for an hour. Not for 2. Rain began to fall. A nurse finally came out with a blanket. Another brought water still. Bruno kept his eyes on the sliding glass doors. Waiting inside, the man had stabilized. A mild heart attack. The first words he spoke. "Where's Bruno?" They allowed the dog in just for a moment. When Bruno entered the room, he didn't bark or jump. He walked straight to the bed and rested his head on the man's hand. The heart monitor beeped steadily. The man smiled, tears in his eyes. "Good boy," he whispered. "You did good." The local paper ran the headline the next day. Pitbull hero saves man's life. Follows ambulance miles to hospital. Bruno's story went viral. A camera crew visited their home. Children came with thank you cards. People who once crossed the street when they saw a Pitbull now waved at him with admiration. Bruno didn't care about the attention. He only cared about the man. They resumed their morning walks. 3 weeks later, shorter, slower, but the leash was held tight, and the bond between them tighter still. They say dogs know. They feel our rhythm, our stress, our joy, our pain. But Bruno wasn't just reacting. He chose to act, to save, to run, to fight for his person, and in doing so, he didn't just save one life, he changed many minds in a world where people still label pit bulls as dangerous, Bruno reminded everyone of the one thing more powerful than fear: loyalty.